We're live. We're under the council budget
Nice.
video.
We're live on council budget.
We're live under the council budget.
Nice, because that was probably the next thing that was scheduled.
Probably. Somebody will have to figure that out later and move it to where.
I'll let Bernie know that tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah. It's yes. Well, except for we're under.
It's
the budget.
recording. I didn't know it was good, but
They're looking for it tonight. They're not going to find it unless they just go on the live stream.
have Bernie fix it tomorrow.
How are you doing?
I think everybody signed in. Let's open this thing up.
What's that?
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
I'll call this meeting of the, I don't know what it is, Drainage Board.
Yep.
So this is a meeting for
It's not a hearing.
Yeah, it is.
It is
yeah.
a hearing.
It's a hearing. It's,
Mutual drain.
Cranberry Mutual Drain hearing.
yes.
Welcome everybody. This is Eric Moore. He's a member of the board. Gary McDaniel, who's a commissioner and member of the board, and I'm Steve Hill. I'm a member appointed by the commissioners.
And I will add that you are being videotaped right now.
Video recorded.
You agree to actually have it televised, and your voice and your image and everything will be duplicated. So,
And Steve Ellsbury, our attorney, who's the guru on Indiana statutes for drainage. So I don't know, I'll turn it over to Chad, let him.
Sure. I'll
Bill,
start.
everybody.
I'll start the meeting, and we can go from there for what's there. So
I also want, before that, we will have, are we going to have a public meeting if this is a hearing? And then we will close that. And then we will, among ourselves, have a meeting and decide. And when you come forward, we would like for you to state your name, where you live,
and your last name.
and your last name, what you have to, maybe what you have to do with this, I guess.
All right, so we are here, as Mr. Hill said, for the mutual drain in Cranberry Lake Estates off of Forest Lane. Our office received a petition for an obstruction within the mutual drain that was filed by the members. You have a copy of the petition in your record there by Mr. Hummel, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Cameron, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Dickman. Was sent to our office pursuant to Indiana code with a mutual drain for the obstruction of a mutual drain. And so per Indiana statute, I am required to go out and verify a couple of things. One, that the drain in question is a mutual drain. And two, that there is an obstruction in the area located in the mutual drain as per the petition. So there's been plenty of precedent for this drain that runs through Cranberry Lake Estates. It was before the board 2 different times in the early 2000s. Stating that it is a mutual drain. The drain up on the board, as you see in the picture, as best as our information, it starts down here near the pond on Mr. Dickman's property, goes across Mr. Cameron's property, crosses across the Hummel's property through there, comes across the Thompson property, across the Wright property, and then through the Masters property. And that's really where we are at for this hearing today. So that's a rough estimate of where that drain runs down through there. I didn't GPS it in or anything like that, but that's pretty much where it goes. It's an old tile. It was there before the subdivision was, to the best of our understanding, to drain that back pond. When that ground was developed, that drain was not put on the plans for the subdivision, nor was it, to our knowledge, conveyed to people of what it was there for and what it was. Through the years, the drain has functioned carrying water to the north in high rains. There has been instances where the water will back up and be where it's at. And there's a lot of documentation that may be brought up tonight of what has happened when this drain overloads. The drain had came to the drainage board in the early 2000s the first time. Because of the flooding, it was ascertained that it was a mutual drain. It was brought back again, and then there was a mutual agreement by the people of the area that was here at that time. Best of my knowledge, that on the north end of the master's property up here, there was a structure put in with a pump, and permission was given by the surveyor's office and the drainage or surveyor's office for them to pump that water out at that point up into the street. Okay, so that was part of the issue and the situation for that, where it was at. Sometime after that, so that's where we're at for that standpoint. So on this drawing is the location of where the obstruction was stated in the petition to the board. And so I went and I actually met Mr. Masters at the property. He walked me back to the valve to show me it is we'll call it the valve for the best way it is. It's a gate valve. There's a riser there at that part of the property that goes down to the pipe. You have to kind of put a stick or a pole or something to help pull the end of it up. But there is an opportunity and a thing for that valve to be there to obstruct that tile, to close that tile off, and to put into there. So pursuant to my investigation, I wrote a report to the board, which you got at a previous drainage board meeting, for us to set the date of this hearing, that the gate valve was installed at that location at the drain. During the time I was there, it was open, but in my opinion, it can easily cause a problem if it's closed, because it would block off the drainage to everybody to the south. So per that information, I believe at this time, then it comes to the point of the board of whether you find whether the obstruction that's there exists, and then from there it is, if I remember correctly, Steve, per the code, it is whether how that obstruction will be removed. If it was put in intentionally, then it could be put upon the people who put the drain in to remove it. If it wasn't and it was a mutual thing, then other people could help pay for it. I talked to the masters that are there. They do not deny that they put the valve into the drain, where it's at.
So the surveyor in 2000 approved a drain box to be able to pump water out into the street to alleviate some of the water in heavy conditions.
Correct.
So from 2000 till sometime now, a valve was put into that box?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes. After 2008. So
That was not approved by the surveyor's office?
no, and the surveyor's office does not have the right to approve that. It's still, even when the box is put in, it's still, the approval that the surveyor gave was for them to pump the water up into the system of Cransberry so that water could get out.
Okay.
For where it's at. Yeah, the actual maintaining and the usage of that drain is the responsibility per mutual drain of each of the landowners.
They just got permission to pump water into the street, which goes into that.
Correct.
county
And
tiles.
they did talk to the surveyor about
Gotcha.
what's the best way to do this, per my information. I was not at the office at that time.
Right.
So
Okay.
that is,
Is this in Cransberry Estates?
yes. So
Is there a homeowners association that,
not that I know of in Cranberry
Doesn't
Estates. No. No homeowner association. No. And so the mutual drain is then the responsibility of those that are affected by the drain for proper drainage as it runs through. Okay?
just trying to understand?
Absolutely. Any other questions for me for my observation and things that are there? I will say, as we walk through this, it was first brought to the board. We had a hearing that we were going to do in October. It was requested by the masters who are the family that the gate valve is on, to have a sit-down to have a meeting on site. And so on October 2nd, I met on site, really pretty close to the gate valve, not at it, just a little bit off of it, with a lot of the people that are in the room here today, this year, that we sat down and tried to come to an agreement with the gate valve and things. During that meeting, there was discussions of what could be done to take the valve out, some things that maybe help some alleviate some problems on the back end. But the main purpose of the meeting was to try to come to consensus to get the valve removed. At that meeting, there was no consensus to have the valve removed. There has been other discussions through time that you will hear about to try to alleviate that issue, situation that is there, but to my knowledge, there is no agreement at this point between all the parties for that to come to a fruition, so this hearing had to occur. Is that good? All right. Do you want to set a time? No, for respondents and people to talk.
5 minutes, is that reasonable? Or 3?
Yeah, I mean.
I think 5 minutes would.
Okay.
If you can't convey your thoughts to me in 5 minutes, then it's not going to get any better.
You're the one making the decisions.
Is that agreeable enough?
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to vote on that?
Good evening. Are we swearing in, Steve?
Not swearing in, just state your name, spell your last name, and who you represent.
All right. Sylvia Miller, Silvia Miller, Miller. I'm an attorney at Allen Wellman, Harvey Keys Cooley. I represent the masters in this situation. They reached out to me first right after that October 2nd meeting, and we had a conversation about what could be done to resolve this situation. First of all, because this is a hearing and the next step would be to ask a court to review the record, I have to make the record clear that before the south valve was placed, my clients did have a conversation with Susan on site, and she did advise them to go ahead and put the valve in. This wasn't done without permission or ruling. It was done because she said, yeah, you should put that in.
Do you have that in writing?
Of course not. So there are other things that have happened. People have removed beehives from their yards. Also, there's nothing in writing to support that. There's no investigation to prove it one way or the other. I'm just clarifying the information that I have so that you know where regardless of that information, they have agreed to remove the valve. They have contacted the contractors that were provided by Chad so that they are licensed, bonded, and approved, and will do a good job. Same contractors have stated that they need an agreement from all the parties to this mutual drain, particularly from the Wrights, that allows them to access the Wrights property to remove the drain if necessary. Because it borders the property so closely, they need to be able to access that property if necessary. The masters are agreeing to do this at their own cost. I did put a contract together and sent it around. Nobody commented back and said, hey, we have a problem with this section or a problem with this section. So, you know, the agreement was put together, but nobody responded to tell me one way or the other what they agreed with and what they didn't agree with. Chad, where is that? Can you put that up, please? All right.
2 minutes.
Oh,
Thanks,
this
Steve.
Yes.
drainage agreement?
Yep. So I do have one change to make on this agreement. If you flip to page 2, number 7, I propose removing the first bullet point because it is a mutual drain and everybody was to maintain it. And at the bottom of what is now the first bullet point where it says, this agreement is not intended to relieve any party to this agreement for the responsibility for any actions affecting drainage, modifications, or maintenance taken by that party after the removal of the south valve. Therefore, all parties are still responsible for the maintenance and seek approval for drainage modifications. I'm willing to make whatever amendments this board feels is necessary to convey that if you don't feel that that's clear enough. But regardless, because this is a mutual drain, everybody needs to be a party to the agreement. Getting an order from this board is simply redundant because all you're going to do is say, Masters, remove the valve. Masters are willing to remove it at their own cost. I did put 90 days into the agreement just because holiday season, the ground is frozen. I've been told by the contractors that I personally contacted that they are not going to do it until it's a little more thawed outside.
3 minutes.
So, sorry.
It's up to you. Just you want to give more time, or if you have any
He
questions?
said 5.
Oh, I said
Five.
5. I apologize. I was on your 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's
Apologize.
okay.
2 minutes. You got 2 minutes left.
So I'm more than happy to go through this agreement, discuss it with you. If you want to issue an order for the agreement to be modified and for all parties to sign within a period of time, I'm happy to do that. But I think you'll all agree, because it is a mutual drain, the parties all have to be responsible for whatever ensues thereafter.
I guess we need to hear from everybody else, because I'm not sure why we're here if you're willing to remove the drain, the valve.
They have to be able to access all properties that's associated with it.
The valve?
No.
No,
they're-
the contractor just needs to be, no, the contractor needs to be able to access the rights property. But because this
One
is
property.
a maintenance issue that involves a mutual drain, all homeowners have to be a party to the agreement because it is a mutual drain.
Correct.
It is maintenance of their mutual drain. So everybody has to be on board and ready to say, yep, remove it, 90 days. I can change it to 60 days, but I can't promise that a contractor will do it in 60 days. So that's where we
I
are.
take just a little bit of issue with that. That's what we're here to determine tonight. If this has been deemed to have been an obstruction, who placed it there? And whether or not it was mutually agreed upon by, did you say it was the rights to the south?
Landowners to the south, but what I'm saying is, just like many other modifications to this drain have occurred over the past 20 years, this was done by Susan. If we were having a hearing in front of a judge, I'd be sending a subpoena out for her to be here and testify.
Understand, you may have that opportunity, and she's not here as well.
Right.
And that's been, I've read through some of the minutes, and that's been the drainage board's position is this is not a regulated drain.
Correct.
The drainage board has no authority. Chad testified that the only approval he could find record of was the north valve and the ability to pump the water into the street. Is that correct? That seems a little bit awkward to me, but okay. So, yeah, that's,
I guess I have to dispute that statement too, because Chad, there have been other approvals, correct, for this drain?
Not give any, the only approvals we can give from our office are things that go into the system of Cranberry.
Which has been done by other homeowners as well.
So yes, they got approval to, also on the south end, to pump water from their yards into a basin they created in their yard that was not in a part of the drain to run out.
Correct.
So the basin they have is not connected to this mutual drain. It is a separate system in their yard that they pump out.
Correct.
It's not a part of this system at all. So it has nothing to do with that.
So again, my clients are willing to remove it at their cost, which is what you would be ordering if it was an intentional, unauthorized placement of an obstruction.
So your biggest problem is the rights won't allow access to get in?
No, my biggest problem is that everybody has to sign this agreement, because my clients are certainly not going to do anything to a mutual drain without all parties being on board. So if they want to testify under oath and say that, yep, they agreed that needs to be removed, we can work on that. But, you know, why are they going to do something to a drain when not all parties agree if it's a mutual drain? It's a mutual drain, everybody has to agree.
But not everybody agreed to it when they put the box in, the valve.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying this was done correctly or properly. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. What I'm saying is if we're doing things correctly here, This board can say, you did it incorrectly, you have to remove it at your own cost. Okay, they're going to do that, but it's a mutual drain.
But once
So
again,
everybody has to be on board.
does everybody want the drain removed?
Yes. Everybody who's downstream of the drain has signed the petition to have it removed.
But not that instrument.
What's wrong with the instrument?
I'll be happy to.
When you're
I'm not-
Hang on.
Okay,
please.
hold on, hold
Any other
on.
questions? This is the respondent's attorney. Any other further questions?
Well, do you see a problem with this agreement?
So, in my legal opinion, we differ slightly. You have the authority to order this removed, order the ability for a contractor to go on to both the, what's your?
Masters.
Masters and Wright's property, because it's a mutual drain and it's obstructed. You have that authority. I believe she's trying to bring you a compromise or a solution, but there's not one if everybody's not in agreement of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. They can tell you why. I can't speak for them. That's how I see it. You have the authority, like she said, to order this obstruction removed. Now, you also have a duty to determine how the cost of that is going to be split. Who installed it? Who has it?
The person's already said they've got it.
Right, my clients have already said they're going to pay for it.
Absolutely. So you've heard testimony from the respondent's attorney that they've installed it and they will remove it at their cost. And so you need to hear from the rest of the folks and then.
We need to hear from the rest of them to see
Yeah.
why they don't want to sign this agreement.
Absolutely.
And
But the thing is, they didn't sign an agreement to get it here.
True. So we need to hear why they won't sign what she's proposed.
Well, I don't know, is it a requirement that there's a written agreement for a mutual drain? I mean, I'm involved in several others, and we do not have it.
want to issue just an order
But-
that specifically says they have to remove it and that it's at their own cost and that, any other properties that may have to be walked upon to remove that valve need to give access to the contractor. And that if that doesn't solve their problem, it's not my client's fault.
Well, absolutely. I think that authority is in the drainage code.
And that's fine with me. I think that the issue is people I have talked to don't believe that this will solve their problem. So I don't want my clients to be sued because it didn't solve their problem. So if the order specifically says, Masters, remove it at your own cost. If contractor needs access to your property, access is given by this board, and there's no future action to be taken if this doesn't solve their problem, then I'm totally fine with that. And I'll make it happen, I guess. That's the other thing, because I believe there's a trust issue between these folks. An order from this court is enforceable by law, so I need them to understand that, just like this agreement would be, a violation is a breach of contract at the very least, which would then entitle them to damages if my clients breached the contract. So as of this point, there are no damages to be sought. Thank you.
So just on our policy reminder, we'll give 5 minutes to each individual. If they are responding to questions from the board, that time does not count.
And if everybody's gonna say the same thing, you might as well have one spokesperson.
Go ahead. State your name, spell your last name, please, for the record.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Jeff Hummel, Hummel. I live at 624 Cranberry Drive, and I'm a homeowner a couple of houses upstream from the drain and the valve, or from the valve that's in the drain. Okay.
He lives right here. Runs to the north. It's up through this property and across.
Okay.
Thank you. So it's pretty simple, I think, to me anyway, that there's an obstruction in the drain. When that valve's closed, water backs up, there's pressure, and it causes damage to the tile. I've fixed it a couple of times in my yard where it's bubbled up and tile gets forced apart with that kind of pressure on it over time. And so we simply want the drain restored to where it was. It's the way it was meant to be. That's the way the laws are written. I don't see, that it's too complicated in that regard. You hear about beehive or other things. Those are noise factors. Bottom line, when it's, when there's an obstruction, there's a problem. When there's no obstruction, there's no problem. So, there may be a history on this, but the history is also that there didn't used to be a valve in that, area to obstruct. And in terms of Masters being willing to remove it, this came up very recently with Sylvia and the letter that was sent that she referred to. We've had requests over time in terms of removal of the valve, but the most recent and the ones documented, I certainly understand things that need to be documented, would be, the petition. When we signed that petition and had the letter in early May, that was a request. I mean, all of us that signed the petition are all for removing the valve. That's why we signed the petition. So again, that seemed pretty straightforward to me. But so, they've had since May, if not a couple of years, a few years before that. But let's say in writing, they've had since May. We had a discussion in October, again, the one that Chad referred to where we met out near the valve. And there were things done, stated to try to, kick the can down the road a bit. It seemed we delayed a meeting. We were going to come to your earlier meeting, November, I guess it was, or so. But anyway, so we gave them a little more time because they wanted to research things or look into things. But so I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of delay. Two things, I don't know if delay because, if they're considering moving or anything. There was talk, they mentioned something about Maine and some house. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything on delay. But that aside, I just, I think the rest of us don't trust that valve is going to stay open for whatever reasons, may or may not stay open. We don't want to have to manage the valve. We don't want to have to deal with the damage. We've put thousands of dollars into things, not just the fixes, but other things we've tried to do to eliminate the water. We've made tremendous progress out there, and things are coming together. To me, this is like the last big piece that needs to be corrected. And it's, again, cut and dry with the law and with what we see an obstruction does to a drain. That's all I have. Okay. So, any questions for me?
So so if this valve is removed and it doesn't solve the problem, what are we going to do then?
The problem being, we need to define the problem in order to say whether we solve it or not. So the problem being obstruction, if we define the problem as being an obstruction, there's no other obstruction there than that valve being closed. So that will solve the problem. If we want to call the problem flooding or something else like that, I don't think that's the problem we're here to discuss today because, water flows downhill. Water, goes through there. We have pumps. We have a good system that really moves that water out of there faster than it's ever been in the history of that subdivision. And things are going very well there. We're very pleased with our solutions that we've got to remove that water to get out of there quickly. So, feel free to elaborate, but I don't see any other problem. The only problem, as I define it, as we're here today, is the problem of that valve getting closed without us knowing about it.
So if we take that out, we order it to be taken out, and there's still flooding. Do you agree to actually work to get the answer further or what?
Yes, oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And I think all the members here would do that, yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying that they're willing to take it out, but you didn't know that before you came tonight?
No, they say they're willing to take it out,
Yeah.
but I don't know what that really means. And that's why we're here. I want to make sure there's teeth to making sure it comes out, because they've had opportunities before, in May with that discussion, in October with the discussion, and we just want to make sure it happens. If they're willing to take it out, then why haven't they yet, and why are there no steps toward it, and why these potential other complications that I don't see exist? Again, we all signed a petition, and it was a request for exactly what was being stated, to take it out.
Is the rights here?
Yes, he'd be a good one to talk to about this. So,
Okay.
Any other questions for me, though?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can we ask you some questions?
Ask you some questions, Jerry?
Yes.
You have to go up your name and your address, please.
Name and spell your last name for us, please.
Jerry Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T.
Jerry lives, so he is the house just directly south of.
According to Chad's drawing, the valve box is on the property line between you and the masters.
Correct.
Is it partially on you?
I believe it, we are having a surveyor come out and distinguish the property line.
Okay. Do you have an issue if they mess up part of your yard getting to the box?
I have an issue with them bringing a backhoe or heavy equipment onto my property. If they damage my field tile that's in my yard, and on their claim, they're stating that they pulled it up earlier, that nobody's held accountable for the mutual field tile. Well,
A mutual drain, okay, so what you're saying you're worried about is if they take out that box, take out the valve. I haven't seen this, Chad, you've seen it. Can we take out the valve without messing with the box or any tile?
The valve is just a riser with a valve in it that goes down to the.
Next to the box.
there's no box
It's
there.
just the
Box
valve.
is on the north side of the property.
Okay,
So this is just a riser.
In the
with
tile.
A gate valve down in it.
Yeah.
So you have
Gotcha.
to reach down, pull the valve up.
okay,
Valve
I
back
thought it
in.
was in a box.
So the riser will still have to come out. So there will be some auxiliary work around that to get that. Or, well, I don't know if they could pull, and this isn't my expertise, so, but I don't know if they could pull the gate valve out taking the riser out. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay,
You don't have any pictures of this?
Oh, you can't, you're looking down into a.
I'm just trying to see it in my
It's like
mind.
a
from-
3-inch PVC.
Yeah, it's like a 3-inch PVC.
probably just looks like a breather out on a fence line.
Yes, it does, and then it's just, you gotta put something down in the pool.
So I
So
have,
if,
So you-
go ahead.
your concern is when they dig down and remove this, they're going to,
If they put heavy equipment on my yard, they could damage my field tile, crack it, and then,
well, it's
I
it's not
would-
yours, it's a mutual drain.
but it's on my property, right?
but it's a
But it's
If,
mutual
if
drain.
if I have a leak on my property and it starts bubbling up, I'm gonna be responsible to have it repaired, not the masters, right?
How deep is this tile?
At least arm's length to grab the valve, and the valve is probably an
Okay, driving
additional
across it
foot.
won't hurt it. We do it every single day. Everybody does. So, but I understand your
But-
concern. If they drive down the property line, reach down, dig it up and fix it, and we're done.
Here's my question, what
Okay.
is an easement? Where should they have put that valve? Can they put it directly on the property line, or should
Never.
it?
They're
They
gonna
never
take it
should've
out.
put the valve
They're
in.
gonna take it out.
Yeah, so
Never
that,
should've put it
that's
in.
my point. They should never, they never got approval from the people up.
And they're willing to take it out and pay for it. So you're getting what you want, but they can't fly in there.
No, but they can dig it on their own property.
Sure. But they're going to, that valve is on half yours and half theirs, they're gonna reach across your property to dig it out. And you're okay with that? If they don't have to drive on you.
Steve?
I'm all right with them, if they have to dig the hole big enough, like, let's say the property line's here.
Yeah.
And it
You're
goes
okay
on
with
both
that?
sides, yes, I'm okay with that. I don't want their heavy equipment on my yard.
Got that? Okay. And I don't know, Steve, can they get through on their property? You've
I
been,
believe they can come up that way.
so you're okay if it actually, the hoe touches your property while they're
Yes,
digging?
yes, I have no problem with that, them digging that out. I just don't want the heavy equipment on my,
I understand, okay.
It'll be done with a mini excavator as well, so.
And if they were to damage something, they'd repair it.
Can, being a mutual drain, does Chav have the authority to approve the work before they close it up? None?
Make that a condition of your order.
Would you guys be happy with that if Chad? Okay, we get thumbs up there.
So we got everybody agreeing to that?
So as long as, ma'am, I forget your name.
Hang on.
Sylvia.
Hang on, Eric. We'll have to bring her back up here in a minute, and you can
Okay.
ask her where we can hear and see her.
I just thought we was gonna get a deal real fast.
Well, we can. He's still got
I
the
gotta go to
right.
the bathroom.
You have anything else you'd like to add?
I think we covered it all.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
A question, Steve.
Yes, this gentleman wants to come. Yes, sir.
On a mutual drain, if you put it across, if there's nothing written, is there an implied easement?
Some authority from the court to order that. Not this board. This board has no authority to.
Right, but is there such a thing, would the courts agree that there is an implied
That is very
easement?
fact specific, I'm not even gonna speculate.
We've
on that.
discussed on mutual drains before, trying to find obstructions, and if somebody won't let them on their property, we can't force that. We've talked about that before.
An ideal situation would be for this to become a regulated drain. And
Yes.
and the landowners back there can petition to do that, and then you would have some authority to go in and fix it.
But they would
Yes.
have to pay
They would have
fees
to
for
pay an
that.
assessment.
Everybody'd have to
it.
pay into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's not what we're here for this evening.
Right, that's
So
the
go
lady.
ahead, sir, and state your name and spell your last name for us.
Thank you. My name's Doug Dickman, and my wife Leslie and I live at 737 Cranberry Drive. Our property, as well as the Camerons, is at the southerlymost portion of the neighborhood, and that's where the bigger pond, that's kind of where this starts
So
from.
Dickmans are over here.
Yes.
This is their pond, and this is the Camerons that are here.
The actual drain is physically on Camerons, but it's our pond. We've always viewed it in that sense. Okay. I guess the issue here is we all would like the valve removed, as it should not have been there to begin with. But I guess the issue to me is, why hasn't it been removed already? If they're so willing to do that, why has it not been removed already? And then they come with an agreement that the discussions for this, and I'm not trying to make this protracted, but the whole discussions of this seems to be, oh, they're willing to take the valve out if, or so long as, and I don't mean just, we're not going to sue you kind of stuff. Part of it is whether we put a pump on our property. It was never part of the agreement. That was part of the discussions that they kind of applied. Then you start looking at this agreement. I don't know why we need your agreement. We don't need your agreement. If there's an agreement to be made to protect parties, if I speak for myself, I'm willing to participate, but that agreement gets into a lot of other stuff that's just not necessary, and it was ill-conceived to begin with. And the earlier iteration would show that. I guess I can't, that's really the point. It should have been removed already, and I wish we didn't have to be here. We kind of thought it was taken care of many, many times before. Not litigious people, and thank you for your time. I appreciate all of you very much.
Thank you.
Can we bring her up now?
Ask if anybody else.
Is there anybody else wants to stay?
Anyone else want to speak?
State your name and spell your last name for us, if you wouldn't mind.
Scott Thompson, THOMPSON. I live at 3504 North Forest Lane. The last house that we haven't talked about.
Okay.
Okay.
So we just wanted to clarify a couple of things. The agreement, if we look at the timing on that, that was sent out last Friday afternoon around 3:30 with I think, what was the timing you were asking for? Signatures by Friday or by Monday or something?
The first version was sent out the week before,
Uh-huh.
and then nobody said anything until Chad reached out to me and said, you need to change this. So I did and sent it out
So
on
I think-
Wednesday and said, I would like to get signatures on it by Friday so that this board wouldn't have to come back on Monday. However, nobody responded or said anything. It's fine. Not a problem. We're here now. We've already said we're removing the drain.
Can we let him speak?
So I think the timing, if we look at the email headers, that says everything that needs to be said. It was kind of, this agreement was one of those situations where, hey, we need signatures in this amount of time without us actually having a chance to go through or read anything. Like it's been mentioned before, why is this agreement, when there's a lot of legalese in there and there's pressure to sign something within 72 hours, 48 hours, that's a red flag for me. I'm not an attorney. I haven't retained an attorney. I would have to retain an attorney before I'm going to sign an agreement that's been drawn up by an attorney. That's common sense in my book. So that, as far as the tile, the back pressure, that tile, as Jeff mentioned, with the tile blowout, I sent some videos and photos. I don't know if you guys had a chance to review those. The video
I didn't
or
see any of those.
board, Chad?
What's that? I'm sorry.
The videos and the photos.
But since we've got the two main people sitting there saying we're ready to do this.
Yeah, what do you want to?
Why, I mean,
We're
there
getting
won't
ready
be no
to have
agreement.
this valve removed. What else do you want?
Just the board, just an actual order from the board.
That's what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Any other questions for me?
Nope.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All right, so far I have, there's an order for the valve to be removed
Without crossing on the Wright's property,
without heavy equipment going into the Wright's
Correct.
property, correct?
correct?
Masters bear the cost of removing it.
Yes?
Masters are not responsible for persistent problems after the removal is completed and approved by Chad.
No,
Nope. They're not.
they're not. It's a
Not
mutual drain.
Yeah, everybody's
Agreed.
responsible for it.
Right. So I just want to make sure that the order says that. And then, but that's it, we're done. How long do you want to give them? Is 90 days okay? 60 days? What do you
Chad?
want?
I think it can easily
I
be
think
done in
as soon
30
as
days.
possible.
It's not that frozen.
You're still over Christmas, so, I mean, just depending on when the contractor get out there to do it, so.
Well, I mean, it's only gonna get
More cold.
and wetter.
Yeah. So I mean, I
As
don't
soon
think
as
the ground's
possible
frozen
is
now.
what I would like to
I
say.
hate to do as soon as possible language just because
Chad,
it gets put out. I would
Approximate.
say as soon as possible, but not later than 60 days.
Let our attorney.
Says.
That constrains you just as much, in my opinion.
Just wait a second, we're going over something else real quick.
So there's some authority, it sounds like Mr. Wright was in agreement, but there's some authority under this particular code section for the right of entry onto land for a mutual drain. And oddly enough, it's that same 75-foot easement that we deal with all the time. So if it's, for the purposes of this chapter, for an obstruction or a removal, an authorized representative of a county surveyor or the drainage board has that same right of entry all along the Wright's property. If you put the map back up, if that's the mutual, all along that red line,
yeah,
all along the red
Yeah.
line, just like we would if it's a regulated drain,
That was kind of what I
for
was,
purposes of this chapter. So I appreciate Mr. Wright indicating that, but if that's part of your
there's an
order,
easement there.
you can order that with,
But,
So I
but the
think,
masters are willing to stay on their property to take care of
Absolutely.
the problem they made. We can put that in the order, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
So here is my 2 cents on this. You're gonna need an order drafted that everybody can live with, right? I'm not gonna be able to draft that tonight.
I think she's working on it.
Well-
She was making notes.
I'm gonna draft it.
You have to draft
I'm gonna draft it, and then whether or not you adopt it or not, we can share it with the parties, but it's not gonna happen tonight. That's my point. So
But
you've
we
got the
can
ability to
order it to be
continue.
done.
You can order it to be done, you can continue the meeting and then approve it at a subsequent meeting. I know that may not be what everybody wants to hear as far as an instantaneous solution, but it's snowing out there, we're not gonna be doing any work probably immediately anyway. So, you can even make it part of the time that we continue this to your next regularly scheduled drainage board meeting. Or if you wanna have another night meeting before the end of the year, that's at your discretion. But that order that you're gonna have to enter has to have all of those things that you've just talked about, in my opinion, to make this final and complete for everybody.
Okay, so if we need another special meeting, we'll take another meeting.
so here's,
But you're saying we can't do it at a drainage board meeting?
You can't, you have to adjourn your drainage board meeting
30
and then call
days
this back.
before they start.
for
And
an alternate solution.
we'll let 2 guys in the shovel go do it tomorrow.
She's got another idea.
I will draft it for you. And then you can amend
I
as
appreciate that.
necessary.
I appreciate that, but I'm
Steve
gonna
Now, we
draft
would
it.
rather our attorney do that.
I appreciate that.
Fine.
Appreciate it.
But, send him a Word document that he can alter as he sees fit, if that will expedite the process. But if not, I just want to be able, I will tell my clients they need to remove it. I just need to give them a deadline. So if we're going to do 60 days, I need to tell them 60
60
days.
should be good enough, shouldn't it?
And it'd be 60 days from whenever we reconvene for your final decision.
But I will tell them within 60 days.
Which would be 30 days from now, so.
If you meet at
do
your
it
regularly
at a
scheduled meeting, or
regular
you can
meeting.
you can continue this to any date specific. It doesn't have to be
We can
January
come back
meeting.
tomorrow night.
I don't want to come back to town.
I'm not coming back
I'm
tomorrow
not
night.
sure either one of us can do it that quickly.
Well,
Okay,
but-
so,
But
Okay, so let's shoot for next week.
perfect. Week from today? There will
You
be
make
no
sure of that.
further, there will be no further legal notice. So if that's, you would need a motion and a vote to,
You're talking about the 8th.
he's sighing heavily.
What do you say, Steve?
I will not be here the 8th. I could be
Okay,
here
well
the
then-
9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Yes, I can do the 10th.
So question, right? So the official time starts from the time the order is actually brought in. And then there's also a time they can take it to court to go against the motion for everything that's there. But I think Mrs. Miller wants to know, to tell her clients, this is the amount of time that you have to fix this, to get it done. So I think if you wait the 30 days to have it at your next meeting, not making everybody come back in the middle of the night or whatever, put the time at 60 days. Continue to work on it right now, if they're willing to do that.
You could get a contractor in there tomorrow if you wanted to do it.
Yeah, whether you had that agreement or not.
Right, and it'll give the, I mean, if you do that, then it'll give them the 90 days that they wanted on paper.
60 days from then, which would still put you from January, that would still put you at the, at the very 1st of March for it to be done, which is before the rain season.
Then I think in the meantime, could we make the order say you cannot close the valve until it's,
And I think that would be fine, except for the fact that gravity is involved.
well, there's
And
ways to
they
make
are
sure
not the only
gravity's not
people who have
involved.
access to that. Masters aren't the only people who have access to that valve. It is open to anybody. So anybody here.
But I think we're
Yeah, I think
grasping
you
at stars
understand
here.
what I'm
Oh,
saying.
no. Then there's a lot. But anyway, we can put in there that, it has to be done in 60 days. No closing. Valve.
I suppose,
Master's
is that a
cost.
commitment you'd be willing to make tonight, that they will not close the valve between
They
now
will
and?
not close the valve.
Not something, and we can put that in the order, but in the interim, until it's removed, there will be no any closing. And it'd be up to you folks to investigate and figure it out.
If there's a complaint, yeah, then you come back with it.
Proof, I would hope. Not just, hey, I went over there and it was closed. Really? Closed
Video
it?
proof of
I think at this point, if you want to go ahead and close the public portion of it, then you can have your discussion and take.
That's one quick question.
Okay, hold on.
Is there anyone else?
Yep. Come up to the front, state your name.
You're the last one that I have to point out, so.
Sorry, I was trying to avoid it.
No, you're okay. Might as well get everybody involved. Okay, go ahead.
Casey Cameron, Cameron, 625 Cranberry Drive.
He lives right here.
So right there at the end of the drain in question. My only question is, so everything goes through, they agree to take it out. Well, what's the recourse if they don't take it out?
Then we can,
They have a quarter, they will have our order, I guess you can go to.
Hold
We'll
on.
be taking it out.
So,
and then-
so there have to be some certain things that have to be in this order. It has to be found that there was an obstruction, that the folks placed it there intentionally. In the order, there would be a set time, or this board also has the ability to place a condition that says if it's not removed within that set time, the surveyor is in order, authorized to remove it, and then that cost would be billed to the landowners.
Okay.
So there is recourse, and that will be built into the,
Yeah.
that's why I was adamant that I would like to draft it, but
Perfect.
that's gonna be in there.
Yeah, that's all I needed, just for clarification.
Okay, thank you.
That was a good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
okay.
Okay. Any,
Last call.
No,
anybody else? Anybody else want to talk?
close this thing.
Are you want to talk?
You can close the public portion of it.
Then we're
you
going
can-
to close the public portion of the meeting and we're going to discuss this among ourselves.
We leave or do we?
No, you could,
No,
no,
you
you
can
can stay right there.
So they give their order, I would say.
Actually, Steve's gonna take and do it. I mean, we can order it to be done. I mean,
Right,
why wouldn't we?
right.
I just think it's made a mountain out of a molehill here. So,
It should have come to us in October.
yeah. So,
So
Steve will do it.
do we need to tell him, I guess,
Absolutely.
so are we happy with what Steve has said he'll,
Yes, everybody seems to be agreeable to it.
What do we agree on when we're gonna approve your draft?
Next meeting.
That would be the motion to continue this hearing. And I will work on a draft, and you'll have to have a final order that everybody's going to receive.
Okay.
That's what you're going to adopt.
At
Essentially,
the next drainage board meeting.
I would just move to the next drain.
Okay.
that's your preference. I mean, it's your
That's-
decision.
that's-
You can make a decision.
No, why don't you make it January meeting, and then we don't,
That's the next meeting, isn't it?
yes,
Okay,
January
yeah.
6th, I think.
I think he's telling me he wants me to do the motion.
Well, I don't think I should.
We are moving to continue
This hearing.
the hearing
Until January
to
6th
January 6th
at 8 a.m.
at 8 a.m. That's it. That's all you need?
You want to say
I would
8:30?
probably set it not at the beginning of your, because commissioner meeting starts first.
Let's say
But
8:30.
we do the
8:30.
opening, and then we turn it over to the drainage meeting.
8:20, 8:30.
We don't need to put anything about
Let's
there what
just
you're
put it-
drafting or anything? Oh, okay, well, that's it.
And I'd say 8
Let's say
a.m. because we
8:30,
can't,
because then we can pause the drainage board meeting, have this meeting, and then go back to it
Got
if we need to.
Can't do any earlier.
yeah, you can't go early. We can go later. We can't go earlier.
No, I'm gonna have a proposed order, and then they can adopt it or not. It'll be up to, and we'll have our other two.
We're gonna
Second.
continue. I haven't said it yet.
I thought you had.
I move that we continue this hearing until January 6th at 8:30 a.m.
Second. Okay. And
Is
Steve
that
will have
enough?
everything prepared.
I'll bring a proposed order.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't need to say that in the,
No, because you're not, you can not adopt it. You can-
Right.
You can modify it, you can put additional commitments. You'll have two more members theoretically as well.
Okay.
If you would like the property owners to be present, you can.
I
sort of
want
let their
to
counsel-
explain that to everybody.
There you go. That's what I was.
Still need to vote on that motion when you get done explaining.
Before we do, that we're not trying to put anything off. We have a regular monthly drainage board meeting at 8 a.m. before the commissioner, or at the commissioners' meeting on Tuesdays. So he's going to draft the order, and at that time, we will act upon it, because we can't act upon it now because we don't have it. But that's what it's going to be.
And if you want to be here, you can be here.
To do that, and so you're all welcome to be here at that meeting. And it's public, I guess it'll be recorded, so.
They're gonna
Give you direction.
And Steve, if it is not done by a certain date, we have Chad to do it, and we actually bill the homeowner. Okay?
For the code, absolutely.
For the code.
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be read before we act on it.
It's up to you if you want to have additional public hearing, if you want to open it back up to the public. You've heard from everybody. The landowners are not here. If you want to hear from them individually, they have the right to be here. There will be no further legal notice, is what he's trying to say. So this is your notice that has been.
I guess we can say at the meeting whether we want to open it back up to the public. If we see a bunch of people, then we will. Well, I agree with that.
January 6th?
Yes.
Yes,
8:30.
at 8:30 a.m.
Vote on that. You got a motion and a
It's
second?
been moved and seconded that we continue this hearing until January 6th at 8:30 a.m. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Move to close hearing.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adjourn this hearing. Or, no.
Yes.
Adjourn
Yes.
this meeting.
Adjourn it.
We're continuing it.
Or, yeah, continuing it.
Okay, does everybody understand?
Okay.
I hope.
Vote on continuing.
We did, didn't we?
We got a first and a second.
If they're right, I think we just continue to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not closing it, we're just continuing.
Thank you, everybody.
You know what the problem is.
Yes.
order that the lawyer writes, then they
Or we could